All right, what's up, guys? Long overdue video. I know it's been over a week, so I apologize. But here we are, August 30th, 2023. Going to look at the Bitcoin chart, Ethereum, and a few other coins today, and then go over some of the news that has recently occurred. So, first off, the global crypto market cap is sitting at 1.08 trillion. So that means all altcoins, Bitcoin, and stable coins. They make up $1.08 trillion all combined. So looking at this right here, Bitcoin, $530 billion of that 1.08 trillion is just made up of Bitcoin alone. And then Ethereum is at 200 billion. So Bitcoin right now is looking at about half of the entire crypto market cap. So if I pull up the Bitcoin dominance, this is what we're looking at, 49.77% as of now. Looks like we're just retesting after we broke out earlier in this summer. So we were in that range since all the way of May 2021, just going back and forth, and then we anticipated this move, this break going upwards back in June. And that's why I was telling y'all to be careful with altcoins, because they got crushed. And then whenever this started falling later on, July, end of June, early July, we had altcoin rallies. We were trading a lot of coins, XRP, Solana. Those are just two off of my head right now, but made some great gains on those. And now kind of just been waiting, kind of just been letting things play out. All right, so technical retest right here, textbook technical retest. All right, resistance here, here. Finally broke out. There was resistance here as well, right there. So finally broke out of this. What happens when you break out? Well, you need to come down and retest it. So far, this is exactly what we've done. This is that retest area right here. All right, if I move this line out of the way, you can see that kind of just trickled down, came back up a little bit, trickled down, and look where we came, right where that old resistance is. So old resistance becomes new support, and that's just clear as day. All right, it was just about being patient. Now we want to see this, how this reacts, and if it's going to end up breaking higher. So yeah, resistance here, and this is the Bitcoin dominance chart, not the Bitcoin chart, right? Breaks out, comes down, retests, and now it's going back up. So I'm gonna keep my eye on this, and yeah, that's what we're gonna be looking at going forward as we move on. But coming over here, yeah, this is what that chart was. It's Bitcoin dominance, and if you look over here, it shows the percentage on this right side, this little green box area. It says 49.78%, and yeah, that just means out of the entire crypto market cap, Bitcoin holds 49.78% of the market cap, and it shows that right here with the 530 billion. So if I scroll down, you'll see like some of these altcoins, 5 billion, 4 billion, right? As I go down, 2 billion. So Bitcoin is the main asset in crypto right now that's holding most of the capital. So when this occurs, Bitcoin usually is the coin that's taking over, and that's what we've seen, most recently on this rally from December of 2022 all the way up here. Bitcoin came into here, I'll just show you on the chart. So we'll go to Bitcoin, pull it up. Not the chart I was looking for. Here we go. So this whole year, Bitcoin was going up, right? And that's because Bitcoin dominance, that money was flooding into Bitcoin right there. So when this chart usually goes down, when we had these down periods right here, and then especially last bull market, this was our altcoin season. All right, so whenever this chart goes down, that is money flowing from Bitcoin, right? That's money flowing from Bitcoin into, yeah, that's horrible drawing, but altcoins. All right, so that's when we have our alt seasons. Now, we haven't had our true alt season since January of 2021, and that was when Bitcoin put in new all-time highs, which was back here, and this was just it going down this entire time, right? That was just money flowing from Bitcoin itself right here. All this money was flowing into Ethereum, XRP, BNB, like all these altcoins. And that's why you saw so much more gains in the altcoins versus Bitcoin, because when $530 billion worth of money is, outflowing, my bad, let me pull up this right here. When that is outflowing into altcoins, when it's going down, right? Bitcoin dominance was at 70 something percent, and that money was flowing into altcoins with much smaller market caps. When $530 billion is getting dispersed into, coins that don't even have $1 billion market cap, that is why they push up so much more rapidly and higher. All right, so for that to come, we usually need to see Bitcoin all-time highs, and that's why a lot of people have been talking about alt seasons for a long time now, and we haven't had one. We really just truly haven't had one. We had, a little bit of one earlier in the year where altcoins were doing, 100%, 200%. They've already retraced. I mean, look at Solana. We'll pull it up on the weekly. Solana off of the FTX lows. I mean, this thing went up 100%, 200%, then came all the way back down, right? Lost 50%. Now, from these FTX lows, still currently up 165%. Probably not the best example. Let me pull up one that I just had, and you'll see Dogecoin off of the FTX lows into the new year, which was over here, December of 2022. We're actually down. We're actually down 11%. Let's look at I'm looking at random coins, all right, that everyone knows, nothing specific. Let's go to Binance for this one. So Cardano, looking at Cardano, where was that open for the year? It's literally sitting right there. So Rose, another one. Let's look at this. Where was that open for the year? January. Okay, so it's still up a little bit from its open. 22%. But if we look at Bitcoin, how much is Bitcoin up from its opening of the year? Still up 65%. Why is Bitcoin outperforming all the other coins? Well, that's because Bitcoin dominance has been pushing up this entire year, broke this huge resistance, right? And it's still, technically above this level. It's just retesting that as support now. So that is why Bitcoin is outperforming altcoins right now. And, Bitcoin was the best gainer of this year. Like I just showed, most of these altcoins that made their moves, Rose still did 150% move. It's all the way retraced back down, only up 20%, while Bitcoin still holding 70, 60, 70% gains this year, because the market cap is $530 billion and half of the entire crypto market cap. So it's less volatile, and, it's holding its ground because there's more money in it versus the altcoins. When things go down, it's easy for them to slip because they have less capital in them. So with that, my plan this year since Q3 started was to slowly start accumulating altcoins, and going Q3, Q4, I said dollar cost average, don't just go all in. Why not? Well, we just already had a dip. Doesn't mean that we're not, just because we bounced here doesn't mean that we're not going to go lower this year. However, next year we have the narratives of what I've talked about multiple times, which is what we are looking for, and that is the Bitcoin halving, right? We have the Bitcoin halving. We have, Bitcoin halving, all right? Spot ETFs like BlackRock, all right? Spot ETFs haven't been approved for a long time, but what I'm about to go over with the most recent news might indicate that they could get approved sooner than later, which would line up with our theory of bull market beginning next year. And so then we have presidential elections. So we have a lot of things lining up, right? We have a lot of things lining up for next year to push us above this level. Now, this level on Bitcoin, we've tried to break out of it not once, right, but 2 times. And, I could even say more than that, because each one of these candlesticks is a week. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 months out of this year, we were sitting up in this area trying to break through this resistance, which used to be old support, right? It was old support that led us to new all-time highs, not once but twice. Okay, and once this level was broken, last bear market, last May, when Luna was crashing, exchanges were going down, etc. That old support, right? That old support, what happened to it became new resistance. So that's that resistance that we've been sitting under this entire time. Now, another major break that we saw this year was this right here, this uptrending support that we've been holding all year. I was even looking at taking longs potentially right here, and we fell through. And the crazy thing is, every single time that we come and touch one of these levels, or touch this level this year, whether it was pushing back up or falling back down, there was a narrative the same day. So this right here, when we fell down here, this was the U.S. banking crisis. And as soon as we come down and touch this level, what happens? That Sunday before going into the new week? The government comes in and says they're going to save the banks, and then automatically pushes us up in the zone. Now, then Coinbase gets sued, Binance gets sued. We come all the way back down to this trend line. What happens? Literally the same day we touch this trend line, this support line right here, BlackRock files for an ETF, right? A spot ETF, rally up into here the same day. So you can't tell me that's not that's not a coincidence right there. What happens right when we come down and touch this level, when we're already pushing down? The Evergrande stuff with China, the same day, as well as the SpaceX selling their Bitcoin rumor. I mean, it just, every single time, like, these things just add up. And I have a chart that literally goes through almost every single thing from the past. If I wanted to show y'all all of that, there's too much stuff to go over, but I mean, all of this stuff just seems to always add up. FTX aftermath, start rallying up. USD coin, banking crisis, right? Comes down, the government steps in, SEC sues, BlackRock applies for the same day right here, goes up. Now I have to update this right here. That was the SpaceX rumor and the Evergrande fall. All on this trend line, but all in between, nothing happens. Then we come down here and suddenly we get crazy news every time. So, tell me it's not manipulated, or tell me it's not manipulated, and I can show you how it is every single time. So, which just furthers my analysis when we come into this next year, and from just looking at the past, everything is planned. All right. A lot of these cycles are planned. Why is the Bitcoin halving the same year's elections? I mean, yeah, the Bitcoin halving isn't some magical just thing that starts rallies. It's a narrative that makes a lot of people interested in the markets. What is it combined with? Well, presidential elections. When do markets tend to do well? Leading into the presidential elections right after, as we saw in 2021. Had a huge bull market rally. So a lot of things coming up into play. It's just who can survive over the next 4 to 5 months, in my opinion. That's really what it comes down to. Specifically for me, I'm accumulating Ethereum. Why am I accumulating Ethereum? Well, let's look at this channel that's held for so long now. We come all the way back to 2015. Resistance. All right, fell a little bit below, went a little bit higher back here, but you got to keep in mind how low the market cap was back here. It was way more volatile. I mean, this percentage right here alone to here was a 21,000% move, versus this past bull market still did great in percentage, but it was only about 4,000% move. Huge difference. So as we came on and more money came into this market cap, I mean, look at this. I mean, back here, went through. But then we came down here, Corona crash 2020, held this level. Came up here, 2021, top of the bull market, held that level, got rejected. Went a little bit higher, didn't come all the way up here. And now what happened right when we come down and touch this? Got to bounce. All right. One thing I didn't mention was when we fell through here, why did we get that pump the other day? Well, there was breaking news. Grayscale wins SEC lawsuit for Bitcoin ETF review. So the appeals court said the SEC's decision to reject the Grayscale Bitcoin ETF application was not correct. All right, so I'm trying to find this one part that I was looking for. Okay, here we go. So on June 29, 2022, the SEC denied their application to convert their GBTC into a spot ETF. All right, the next day, senior legal strategist, former blah, 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 filed a petition for review with the United States Courts of Appeal for the District of Columbia Circuit. At the time, said in a statement, the firm was deeply disappointed. And yeah, that's that basically. So the whole point of this, I was trying to find a specific part, but they know that the SEC is not doing things correctly. And now they're trying to make them correct it. So this doesn't mean that a spot ETF is going to get approved right away. That's not the case, but it is a step towards that because the SEC used to just deny. Now they're getting, held accountable for their actions. So, this caused that recent pump right here, right at this support zone, shocker, when we come down here. So, another time that we had, big news such as this, I mean, the markets pumped pretty hard the other day. Bitcoin moved pretty good amount, as well as altcoins. Well, look at the XRP case. What happened with XRP? It took years and years, and people were asking why I was selling when we were up here, right? Let me find the chart I'm looking for. Might be on Bitstamp. Here we go. So, I mean, I was buying right here. I told my group to buy. I even told y'all to buy on this trend line. What happens? They beat the SEC. 2 weeks later, we did 100% move. I sold at 90 cents, right? 90 cents. So I have the screenshots to prove it, but I sold at 90 cents, and now we're back down 41%, almost pretty much back down to where the entry is. And look at our trend line still holding. So the point is, what I'm trying to make here is that we retraced this entire move. So just because we had this news right here, we had huge SEC news with XRP. Markets were pumping like crazy. What happened? The move got completely retraced. So that is the same case that I possibly see coming into here, unless we get rapid narratives coming in over and over and over, which will bring in liquidity. But I don't see that happening until next year. And what's next year? Having big boy spot ETFs, presidential elections. Now we have a way closer to these spot ETFs getting approved. So this is one step in the right direction for that, which will allow BlackRock, ETFs, etc., the bigger companies to be able to be a part of that. So everything's lining up in my opinion. I mean, nothing's really changed for me. I'm still accumulating Ethereum. I'm accumulating it all along this trend line. Look, we come down, we bounce off of it. Can we slip below it? Of course, yes. So I have another trend line below us, and then if we went below that, I mean, I'm really stacking up. Most likely would just be a fake out into the end of this year. So not worried at all. Just stacking my Ethereum, dollar cost averaging daily, and same with my altcoins. I'm buying my altcoins because they're back at their FTX lows, or barely have moved, versus Bitcoin is still up 60 to 70%. I'm looking for the best risk to reward. Looking at Ethereum right now, best risk to reward, bottom of this channel to top of this channel. Where are we at? We're literally at the bottom of this channel. I'm accumulating here. I'll sell close to the top. All right. So that's pretty much all I got, guys. I mean, it's really just a time and patience thing. Money comes in seasons in crypto, and we haven't had a true bull market season in a long time. There has been trends and narratives that have been in play, but as an overall market, look at all the altcoins. They're pretty much at their FTX lows still. Nothing's changed on that aspect. Bitcoin's only up 60 to 70%. Hasn't even broke out of its major resistance of this year. Until we break out of this and confirm it as new support, like this and go on like we did here and here, I'm not bullish in the short term. But long term, I am. Long term going into next year because of the narratives we have in play and what I've seen time and time again of the 4-year cycles. I'm not a 4-year cycle like guy where I'm just like, oh, Bitcoin halving's here and we go to the moon. No, there's a lot more that comes into play with it. It's just a narrative that drives a lot of liquidity into the market along with other things. So, of course, anything can change, but after time and time again, when I see the same things happening over and over again, just like we had right here, leading into a new bull market, right? And then we also had May 2020 as well, if I mark that. So having new all-time highs, new all-time highs, new all-time highs loading. All right. So if anything changes, I'll update y'all. I'll try to get back on a consistent schedule. I apologize, but this is great information for y'all to keep up with everything. And yeah, dollar cost averaging into altcoins over the next 4 to 5 months. Ethereum especially. Bitcoin I've accumulated most earlier on. But, you know, if we do get that chance to accumulate more, then, of course, I'll use my extra cash I have to grab some more Bitcoin. But, yeah, that's pretty much the plan. Nothing's changed. Don't go into super low-cap altcoins or meme coins that are just going to get rugged, right? Try to find coins that have, good projects, good teams behind them, and a decent-sized market cap where you're not just throwing your money away. I mean, remember, altcoins can, they are down mostly 90-something% from their all-time highs. Fortunately, I sold close to all-time highs in pretty much everything, and I waited for a long time to be able to start accumulating again, which is why I'm now capitalizing on that. So looking forward, 2024, 2025, going to be some great years for crypto and the rest of the markets at this moment. So it's about waiting that time out and getting prepared for it. So if you have any questions, Crypto Capital Investing on Instagram, you can DM me. I answer everyone, no matter what question it is, who you are, it doesn't matter. For the Telegram, someone stole my Crypto Capital Investing name, and they tried to been scamming people. So I've been trying to get their Telegram shut down, just keeps coming back. But just know that it's not me. I'm only on Instagram, Crypto Capital Investing. All right. Don't send anyone any money if you're not speaking directly with me on Instagram. So if you made it through all of this, I appreciate you. Hope you all have a great week.